Yeah, I mean, for us, one step forward in achieving our goal. Played against a tough Vancouver side, able to come back home to finish the job, and yeah, I think it was the game had some positives, but obviously reflecting on it, we wanted more control. But I think kind of just fleshing that game out and looking ahead to this weekend's game versus Galaxy, it's another test for us. Obviously, Galaxy has been struggling a little bit in the season, but you know how these games are. It's an opportunity, for them to get on track. So we gotta be mindful of that, but also, just keep pushing and keep growing within our game.
Historically, Vancouver was a place that LAFC didn't necessarily play very well, but then you went there, you controlled the game, and then obviously pushed the game to a level where you're able to get out of there with that 3-0 victory. Are you able to take anything from that into Galaxy, where LAFC has never won?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having that narrative not weighing in an opposing stadium. Obviously, we're mindful of that, but I think for our standpoint, we want to kind of change that story, and we did that in Vancouver. I thought we had a decent game there where we were, the catalyst of the game. We got full control and we were able to play our football. And this weekend we're looking to do the same. Obviously, Galaxy is a great team, but for us, we want to keep being positive, keep pushing our game model, and being clinical for the goal. And defensively, you want to be sound.
Do you have to separate the player in the game? Like you're playing in what I mean by that is you're playing in the game, but you're playing against a team that's backs are against the wall. Do you have to play against their mentality, or do you just play the game?
I mean, I think a combination of both. I think every game has different variables you have to take into account. Like I said before, I think they're ready to get back on track. So in that sense, they're going to have a lot of frustration and they're going to come in with a lot of energy and intensity. So we definitely have to match that. And then we got to just play our football. Go out there and continue to play the LAFC way. And I think if we can continue how we've been playing, I think good things can happen for us.
A lot of these games, it seems like the battle originates where you are, right there in the midfield. It seems like whoever has more control of that area is able to push the game on. So, what kind of challenges do they present to you, and what kind of solutions do you feel like you
Yeah,
provide them?
they have a very dynamic midfield with Brugman, Pugh, Delgado, guys that move around all around the field. They're a team that likes to possess the ball, and I think for us to have a good game, I think in the midfield we got to win that battle. Uh, we got to be connected. We got to be connected to them. Put a lot of pressure on them, make it uncomfortable for them as much as possible, and then, like I said, play our way. I think sometimes we got to just adapt to what the game is bringing us, whether it's find our forwards direct and playing underneath, or whether it's like building on the back. I think for us, we've been pretty good in that sense where we're able to adapt to what the game brings us, and I think this is another test for us to test ourselves and obviously just grow as a team.
Now that you've been here for more than a year with the club and you experienced the rivalry, what makes it so special?
I mean, it could go. It has a little bit of everything. I mean, it goes from two fan bases going at it from even before the game to on the field. You feel the chippiness. You feel there's goals on both sides. The atmosphere is electric. We got two teams that just don't like each other, bragging rights, playing for a lot of pride, and we're playing to win, right? And so yeah, having a taste of that. I mean, the games have always been crazy, and it is always funny to me because every time we play them, it gets crazier and crazier. Which you would think that could never happen, but no, I think for us, obviously, we got a lot of us got a taste last year, but this year, we want to just continue playing our way and hopefully have more control of the games.
What do you think the biggest challenge is this time around facing the Galaxy?
The biggest challenges, I just think for us is being too like overly confident or arrogant, especially in a sense where we're riding on this high, playing very well, winning a lot of games, and Galaxy is struggling a bit, but we can't look down on them. They're still a good team with a lot of good players, and all it takes is for one game for them to get back on track. And for our standpoint, we don't want it to be us. And so for us, we got to take the game with a lot of responsibility, a lot of character, and go out there and treat it like a final.
Kellyn, do you guys treat this week differently than any other week?
In terms of just what's at
Considering
stake.
the opponent and how traffic goes?
I mean, I think we're mindful of it being a rivalry game, but I think for our standpoint, in the matches that we've had in the previous weeks, I mean, we've all came into it with a lot of confidence, a lot of just what's the word I'm looking for. We're just just well prepared. I think in our back of our heads, we also are mindful that we haven't won over there in Carson. So for us, it's an opportunity to one is to get points there for starters. Two is change that whole narrative of we can't win over there, and three is put ourselves in another position to to move forward and have sights on our goals.
Just the last thing, you talk a little bit about call up to the U.S. national team again, and kind of how you're preparing, a big game for that right after a big Galaxy game, and then a big game for the national team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this game is a little bit different because it doesn't fall under a FIFA window. But from my standpoint, I'm always grateful to get called into the national team, and it's a huge opportunity, especially playing against our rival in Mexico, and 3 days before playing against Galaxy. From my standpoint, I take it game by game. My focus right now is to be prepared for the game on Sunday, and give it my all there. And then once that game's over, I can kind of flush that out and turn my focus to the national team. So from my standpoint, I take it game by game. But it's going to be exciting. Week ahead, 6 days ahead. Whatever it is, can't count.